Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all ages, it's round 9 of Swiss here at the Star Wars Regional Qualifier, Star Wars Unlimited Regional Qualifier here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's getting late in the day. This is the last round of the day. Mark, my friend, it is incredibly late where you are. Thanks for hanging with us.
It is 1:45 in the morning here in the UK, but I have also not been casting through 9 hours of games, so props to you for that, mate.
Well, thank you. This is actually about the same length the day that we did. I mean, day 1 in Denver was the same basic length, so I feel your pain. We'll make it work. Let's get into this matchup. We have a very familiar face to some of you guys possibly on stream. If you've been watching the other streams, Frank Myers of the Botha Network is now here. He is in a play-in situation. Let's meet his opponent here on the left-hand side of your screen. This is Steven from Omaha. And I missed, wow, look at that. I put an extra space in there. It should just be N-E, not N-space-E. There we go. All right. And on the right-hand side of your screen, there is Frank. Frank's been on my stream before, but not in a long time. Back in early February, I drove to Mobile and cast a planetary qualifier out there that Frank won. That was the first time I had the chance to meet him, but he is one of the key drivers behind the Botha Network group here in the States.
1 and 2.
He was also one of the first people to do one of the masterclasses on Loopy's Late Night Gaming as well with, I think it was Sabine Yellow he was piloting at the time.
All the 7 and 2s
So we would be
one of the most charismatic interviews they've done on there.
Frank is
always a character.
Frank is great to talk to, super friendly, very knowledgeable, and super passionate about this game, which makes him a tremendous resource and a lot of fun. Super good guy. Super good guy.
I think you can actually.
Right, let's see what he's bringing with some Vader 4 yellow.
Not our
Tarkin
first new Vader of the day, but definitely the first one we've seen in a while, and probably one of the few still hanging around this late in the match. Assume that in the match, in the day, right? In the standings this late in the day.
Very much so. Notable other prominent player who's been playing Vader 4 yellow today and dropped after taking 3 losses was Bobby Sapphire.
Indeed.
So,
interesting that you bring Bobby up because I had been secretly hoping that he would scrub out. I told him this to his face last night, and I got a little bit of a snark. He kind of looked at me a little sideways, and I was like, "Well, it's for a good reason," because before several weeks ago, he and I had been talking about getting him on the stream to do commentary. He had the fortune of working some of Loopy's stream in Richmond for the Richmond Sector Qualifier. And I particularly enjoyed his commentary. He was really, really good, and I thought he's a natural at this. And I told him at some point, I said, I would love to have you come work a booth with me. He goes, well, we'll see what happens. And since he's not advancing to day 2, he dropped by about 10 minutes ago to let me know he is going to be my co-caster for the entire day tomorrow. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
You guys are all in for a treat tomorrow then. And I'll be watching that as well.
That's
so
going to be a lot of fun.
One.
That's going to be a ton of fun.
Anyway, the game's off with your favourite Mining Guild tie.
The Mining Guild tie. I love this card. Oh my God, is that a moisture farmer? What in the hell?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on a minute. What did Frank play?
It's a 1-1 pilot.
Oh, it's Victor 2. Okay.
Yep.
I'm just trying to keep up with everything. It's killing me right now.
Yeah. We'll see if the moisture farmer can get up to its full 3-7 glory.
Now, Victor 2 didn't make his token. What happened? Isn't he supposed to make a token?
Was it Victor 2 or was it a different Victor?
No, I zoomed in on it.
Oh,
it says Wingman, when played,
it's definitely
an upgrade
Victor 2.
tie token. Yeah.
Got one up.
Why didn't he? I'll let them know.
I suppose it's possible he missed it.
Sure, 1 to base. I'll heal 2.
Moisture farmer starts doing its work.
Hold on just a second. There's a question.
Restore 2 right from turn 1.
About a possible missed tie token?
Yeah, it's not an option.
Okay.
It's not an option. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, it has to be gone down.
Yeah,
okay.
It says when played, you make a tie token. It's not an option. It just happens. It doesn't say you may. It says you will.
Yep.
No, you're good. I didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
Didn't even
One to
think about it.
base.
All right, 1 to base there from the Moisture Farmer doing Moisture Farmer things.
Alrighty.
I remember when they spoiled Owen Lars a few weeks ago, I remember thinking, look,
Oh,
guys, it's the king of the Moisture Farmers.
Ready to die a horrifying death.
All right, first order TIE fighter.
Buffett.
No, that's
Yeah.
not the right thing. There we go.
That's an experience token, is it?
He does indeed put an experience on.
It was played on turn 1.
Oh, okay.
The A-wing.
So I attack with it. Yeah. And then I will claim initiative.
No claim. Okay, I'll pass.
All right, moving on. Not a lot of damage to base so far. Vader's still
how did-
building up board state,
I'm trying
ready
to figure out how
to
Frank
overwhelm.
didn't make a TIE token that turn. Didn't he attack?
Ready.
Didn't he attack and use Vader to make a TIE token? But it didn't look like he did. Okay.
No, he didn't use Vader.
That's okay. He definitely can now, but he comes in with the eager E there.
Cards.
Yep.
So 1-1, I think, is the score.
That's a V-wing.
I hit you with that.
Yeah, sorry, I just didn't put it on base. I just typed.
Oh, I remember the first
There we
time I
go.
saw a V-wing in the old Dark Empire comics. They were great.
Oh yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Do that. Do that. You're at 1. Do that.
Deciding we got 4 open resources on the race side. You're deciding if you want to upgrade the Moist Farmer or play something else, I guess. Got to be worried about the possibility of a waylay or some other bounce, which will
Okay.
get rid of the Moist Farmer and all the experience you've put into
Buff
it.
the dude.
Earlier today, and then walked off.
I just
Vader's going to make the TIE Factory go burr as Rey
yeah.
is going to come in and pump up the Concord Dawn defenders and just make them a little harder to kill.
Yep. And that Concord defender will eat through a
Just
lot of
A
attackers.
lot of things. It is definitely something that Frank is going to have to deal with.
I'll put
It'll kill every single one of them, quite happily.
down this.
I'm going to come in with another first order tie.
Yep.
Now those first order ties
that-
swing for 3, so that feels pretty good. He can
Yeah.
throw a couple of those in over there and just clean up that Sentinel.
For the cost of 2 resources
Mhm.
to what is essentially 4. It's a nice bit of trading up.
I'll put a point of damage on there.
Sacrifices one of the
okay.
ties.
4 health remaining.
Steven takes the initiative.
I mean, he has to deal with it. His entire deck is space oriented. He
Mhm.
can't not deal with the Concord Dawn.
Nope, he can't. Now functionally those first order ties will swing for 3, right? Because he has the tie token.
Yep.
So it's a question
As long
of
as the
how
token is on the board at the very least.
correct. It's a question of how Steven wants to deal with it. If he can take the token out, then that turns the raid off on those two first order ties.
Indeed. But killing the other vehicles, if he can do so before one of them attacks, means he hampers Vader's ability to put more tie tokens on the board.
Smart play. Going to pump up the Conquered Dawn first before any other shenanigans get started.
Yep. So that now has 5 hit points remaining on it.
Frank fervently wishing for a surprise strike right now. A surprise strike would be an easy trade for that Conquered Dawn if he could pull one.
Absolutely. I wonder if this deck runs waylays.
I'll put 1 on it.
Maybe it has to be a sided-in thing for him.
Not sure. Could be.
Or maybe there's not just many of them. Maybe there's none. Sacrificing a 1/1 token in. Concord Dawn now has 4 hit points remaining in once again. Moisture Farmer not attacking, or ideally not attacking until there's damage for it to restore.
Mm-hmm. But right now, Frank can't push anything past this
I'll smack into one of your raid 1 guys.
Conquered Dawn, so it doesn't do him any good.
Yep.
How much health is left
Concord
on
Dawn
it?
takes 2 in order to clear out one of the raid 1 people,
Has-
which currently didn't have the raid 1.
Mm-hmm. Got 2 HP remaining.
Alright, these will kill it.
He's going to trade the Mining Guild Tide to get rid of it.
Yep. That's a lot of ships killed by that one Sentinel spacecraft.
It took like 4 of them. It was
Oh, yeah.
quite large and in charge as the Muppet hits
There's
the
some
board.
value.
I mean, I guess.
Does that look right? Frank's still got 5 resources open.
Mm-hmm. He has not played anything this round. We are force throwing something. Okay, he's going to discard the Eager E and get rid of the first order tie. 4 for what probably is the clone. Yep, it is. It's the big clone boat. That's what Vader wants to see in this matchup.
3.
Absolutely. When Vader flips, he'll deploy 4 extra TIE tokens, assuming he deploys onto a spacecraft, which will essentially be a +4/+4 to Clone Combat Squadron.
And he follows it up with the final First Order TIE in the deck.
Yep. Meanwhile, there's 3 restore on the board from Yoda and Moist Farmer.
It is.
Alrighty. Well,
All right.
we're gonna take it down.
Ooh,
Or
he's
is it
gonna
4 restore?
take down the clone before it can become big.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, that's
That's a good
sensible.
call.
Ooh, that's annoying.
Captured
Uh,
Yoda.
My
Doesn't want to capture the Moist Farmer and get rid of the experience. He's more happy capturing Yoda.
2 to base.
No, that comes in tap.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
3 to base.
Gets rid of the Force keyword off the board.
I have 1 up.
And how many cards in hand?
I have 2.
2 cards in hand. It's the flip turn for both players, so they've got to make sure they navigate this
Yeah.
carefully.
Plenty of spaceships for Vader to deploy onto, but only
Mhm.
one of them is ready right now.
Yeah, I'll flip right.
Okay. We'll make a token.
Raise out currently 5 restore on the board race side.
Heal my 3. Which is 6.
This restore is going to be a big problem Frank's going to have to solve at some point over the course of this game. He's going to have to be able to fight
Vader.
in the ground arena. The early Conquerdon just has absolutely really slowed him down.
Go 2 to base. 8.
I'll hit your base for 6.
Does Vader only deploy 2 TIE fighters?
Vader
I thought
only
it was
deploys.
4.
No, it's only 2.
Oh, my mistake.
When he comes in with 2 wingmen, just like in the movie.
Oh, of course. Where did I get 4 from?
I'm not sure. Even the Executor only puts out 3 when it hits the board.
Am I thinking of Chimera? I might be thinking of Chimera.
I don't think even Chimera makes 4. I don't know precisely.
The farmer, and I'll heal.
Oh, it does if Thrawn doubles it, but yeah,
Mhm.
sure, fair.
So you're back to 3.
Getting ahead of myself here.
And I am
That's a sizable space armada. They're all weenies, but
Yeah.
all but one of them are weenies.
um,
All it takes is one Victor
was-
leader out to
base.
beef them all.
Yeah, the Victor leader would be a great pull for Frank here as he goes in for 6.
Victor leader being +1/+1 to all, is it space units, I think?
Base
Correct.
7 for Luke, and I'll get the Sanctuary
Ugh.
shuttle out of here.
Okay, so he's going to get his Yoda back here.
Yep.
All the restore.
All the restore.
Quite
That's
literally,
absolutely
He
right.
now has
Yeah.
2,
3, 6,
10,
7, 8.
10 restore,
Yeah.
9 restore in the ground arena. It's a lot.
And they're also putting out a decent chunk of damage now.
Yep, that single Conquered Interceptor just absolutely threw a wrench in Frank's game.
No.
Um,
Go to 12. This is restore 2 on that, right?
Why? What did I say? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, we had a surprise strike. Okay, for 6 there that I missed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm waiting for the damage to
No.
get caught up.
You're at 15 because you're at 9. I hit you with surprise strike
For
6.
oh, I just missed the raid 1.
Yeah.
I missed the raid 1.
So that was 15.
Okay, they're all trying to just
Yep.
work out exactly what life
This
they're
is,
on.
and
which
this is
absolutely
this is
fine.
why the notes are important for everybody. Okay,
Yep, Frank is making
There we
written
go.
notes on all the health
Correct.
transactions that are taking place.
correct. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just claim. So.
Then I'm just trying to keep the overlay updating to match what they're doing on the board.
Yeah.
P38. Putting up
Stephen
point
hasn't
damage
Tarkintowned yet, has he?
He has not.
Yeah.
Suddenly
He
he's
can't
showing
Tarkintown
19
the
damage
Vader
on. I'm not sure where the 19 is
tie.
coming from.
Is it? No, I should be at 16, right?
Yeah, if one of those needs to flip back over, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
should be
sounds.
at
There we go.
16.
16 sounds correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Sorry.
So Frank, I mean, I feel like both players have lethal available to them in this coming turn. It's just a question
Yeah.
of how the sequencing works and who gets there first with the mountain of restore that Steven is sitting on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which, by necessity, I would think dictates he strikes with...
Okay.
Oh, he entrenches Vader
Yep. Vader gets entrenched here.
as the first thing, rather than hit first with Luke for the 6 damage and the 3 restore.
He's just going to take the biggest variable out of play, and just see what happens.
Yep. Now Frank's only got a lot of 1, 2, 3 damage units left.
3.
Steven can do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Okay, let's see who's he swinging in with.
14,
Luke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
15 damage if he buffs Yoda.
10 HP remaining for Frank, but man, this restore is absolutely wrecking his game plan here.
Absolutely.
Because now Ray's going to restore the damage that he's just done.
Yep, and buff Yoda.
And buff Yoda. Ugh, this is just getting worse by the minute.
16. And you're at 23.
You get to the point where you let Ray have a Luke and a Ray out on the board at the same time. It's really hard to recover from.
It's very difficult to overcome this restore.
Unless you can super laser.
Frank now down to 4 HP remaining.
I'll hit you for 3.
An OB wouldn't go amiss at this point, but it's probably too little too late.
An OB would be really handy, but there's so much health. I mean, yeah, Frank's got to scoop this up. There's just no way he's coming back from this.
There we go.
Too much restore. Way too much restore. That's, that single Conquer Dawn Interceptor, a massive, massive card. It just
absolutely.
It completely stalled Frank for like 2 rounds and made a huge impact there. Well, game 1 going
Frank
to Ray.
taking a look through Steven's discard pile as well to just remind himself of what sort of stuff is in Steven's early game deck. Presumably to inform what he's going to sideboard in and sideboard out.
Indeed. All right, guys, last commercial for the day. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Bye.
Welcome in, everyone. Thanks for being here. One of the most common questions I get is, how can I support what you're doing with live event coverage of Star Wars Unlimited? Luckily, there are lots of ways, and not all of them actually cost anything. For starters, if you're tuned in on YouTube, throw the live stream a like and subscribe to the channel. A couple of simple clicks, and you'll have helped YouTube's algorithm put more of my Star Wars Unlimited content in front of people who might be interested. If you're tuned in on Twitch, simply throw me a follow. Both of these things won't cost you a cent and actually help a lot more than you think. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you might be able to support me on Twitch with only a few clicks. Once you've linked your Amazon account to Twitch, check the QR code on the screen for help doing that. You can use your Prime subscription to me on Twitch. It's already included in your Amazon Prime membership and costs you nothing additional out of pocket. Similarly, over on YouTube, you can use the Super Chat functionality. Just click the little dollar bill looking icon on the bottom right corner of the screen below the chat window. This is sort of like a tip, right? You can choose a dollar amount on a little scrolling bar and it highlights your chat message simultaneously. If you're interested in helping ensure these kinds of high quality Star Wars Unlimited tournament streams continue well into the future, I would also ask you to check out my Patreon over at patreon.com/craptor. QR code on the screen will take you there. I have 4 tiers of support that each come with various benefits, up to and including the embroidered polo shirts you see the team and I wearing on the stream when we cover events. For the cost of only a single booster pack per month, you can support these kinds of productions and get some really fun perks along the way. Whether you choose to pitch in and help keep us on the air or not, thanks for being here. We love Star Wars Unlimited, we love the community, and we look forward to showcasing more of both in the future.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sideboarding's still going on here, so we'll give the boys a couple more minutes. They've got some time here. We can see the decisions and the things that Frank is going through, but we're not going to share them with you because it's not time for you guys to know.
Silk TX in chat has asked where the top tables are at. The top tables are where there's some extremely high-level play going on. However, the top tables have also guaranteed to go through to day 2. They're undefeated. It's not a risk for them. So here we've got Stephen and Frank facing each other. This is a to the death to get through to day 2. One of them will and one of them won't. If they tie, neither of them will go through to day 2. So the pressure on both of them, assuming they want to make it, has got to be really hammering on them right now.
All right, there we go. Looks like sideboards are done and put away. We'll come back here.
We're 6-1-1, right? Hey, we're both 6-1-1. Can you find out if we can draw in?
It's too late for that. I think it's too late. I think if you're going to ID, you've got to do it at the beginning.
But no,
I don't think you can.
That's what I thought.
I think it's too late now.
Yeah, it's just top 64.
No. But so we'll end up 6-1 and 2 if we draw it. Because there's going to be No, there's a 6-2-1 making it. I mean, yeah, there's gonna be a 6-2-1.
All right. Frank's asking interesting questions.
Right, so
Let's go look at the
6-2-1.
round 8 standings and see right now where the break point is.
I think we're the same thing.
Top 64 right now. The player in 64th place after
Oh, hey, Chris.
8 rounds is literally 6-2-0.
I'm good.
So
I'm here. Yeah.
that's 18 points.
I mean,
6-1-1 is
I
worth
wanted to say hi to you
19
at some point
points.
today, but I was
So at the
like,
moment,
yeah.
Frank and Steven are in 21st and 22nd placed.
yeah.
If they were to draw this out, they would go to 20 points. But I believe that
round I beat top green.
So, Steven, let's play
8
out for the stream, but I
is it
think we can
18?
try.
No, is it if 7-2 is the break point? Actually, no, it's not going to be because 7-2.
And then 6-1-2 gets
Ooh,
in.
Is this a
6-1
peculiarity of it being 9 rounds rather than the 8 we were expecting?
I think it is. I think Frank's got a point. I think 6-1-2 might actually make it in, but it is a risk. Like you're risking a lot. Like the math might not work in your favor. We do actually have a player in the field who is 5-0-3, so he's undefeated. He has 5 wins and 3 draws,
Or do you not want to do that?
which is very awkward.
I'm really good post-board. So I win game 2, I'm going to win game 3.
Listen to Frank. If I win game 2, I'm going to win game 3.
All the it's not just you,
Listen to
all
these
the
guys.
blue-
I know,
the
I
blue
know.
stuff.
I know. I'm just like trying to think.
This is what we call horse trading.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. If Frank decides to draw this match after begging me to put him on camera, I'm gonna be a little salty about it. I'm not gonna lie. He caught me after the last round. He goes, "Oh man," he goes, "I haven't been on your stream yet. I really would love it." I was like, "Well, we'll put you on." And he's sitting here going, "Oh, I think I'm gonna draw out." I'm like, "What are you doing to me?"
Good deal.
Oh, good. We're gonna play. Thankfully. I was getting concerned for a minute.
Here we go. Sideboards have been made. Ray presumably has sided in whatever extra anti-space or removal they've got on hand.
I see a black 1 in there, which would be a really good card if he could get the. Oh, he's got a black 1 and an R2. Interesting.
Vader could be using some saboteurs or potentially extra removal to get rid of such sentinels.
Well, game 2 underway, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we're going to play it out, which I'm all for.
Yep, there's the black one.
I will play.
And the droid. I thought I was the only person who had ever actually put a droid starfighter on the table until I started watching these Vader decks. And now it turns out I'm not, and I feel a little sad.
I'm so gutted that Swarming Vulture Droid hasn't made it into the meta somewhere.
You know, I think some of it is because, like, as good as New Invincible is, it very frequently feels like a better. Oh, I haven't reset the match health. I should really do that.
Oh, no worries.
There we go. It feels like
We decided to draw before the match, and we just played for the stream.
most people are using it to, like, they're going through to fish out units, but they're fishing out cheap ground droids instead.
I thought you might do
Yeah.
that. I'll play another one.
Well, that was rude.
So black one went into the tie,
Oh my God.
killed it, got killed in retaliation by the elite P-38, and another black one has come out and been buffed by Ray.
Only now it's a 3/4 black one. That's a much more
No,
irritating problem
it's
to
a
solve.
4/4 because it's been upgraded. Therefore,
Oh,
it now
you're
gets the
right.
activation text.
You're right. That is correct. As Frank does make himself a little TIE Fighter token.
Oh.
Aw, little baby TIE Fighter.
Have you seen the little tiny plastic ones that are doing the rounds somewhere?
You know what I have? I personally hate those things because they're so tiny. I tried to. Somebody was it Denver? I think somebody in Denver had those things. Or no, I was watching somebody else's stream. Maybe in Richmond. I don't remember. Somebody had them, and I was like, oh my God, they're so small. It was impossible to see them.
Yeah.
Frank coming in with another
We've seen so-
first order tie.
Yep. We've seen so many cool random blingy tokens this weekend, though, so far. He's not attacked with the P-38 to give him the excuse to make another TIE token yet, though.
No, but he will soon. There's Victor Leader as Yoda hits the board on the other
Ooh.
side.
Buff the Yoda.
Prestige Victor Leader as well.
That's a pretty card. Suddenly
Yoda
that
to restore 2, draw a card.
suddenly that TIE fighter looks like a pretty tasty little card there as he hits for 2.
Yep.
And the P-38 could
Take the initiative.
take out Black 1. But he's going to push damage.
Hold on, let me think.
Yeah, just do 4
Ooh.
space when you're doing that.
He's thinking
hang
about
on.
it.
Oh, then I can't. I got a sack here. This will kill it, right?
Yeah.
Will it kill it? How much health does it have?
3.
It has 3 health. Kill it and I can put a point there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
And already claimed.
Oh,
Got to try and keep things off the board.
Yep.
Hyperspace ones, since we're just doing this for the stream anyway.
I wonder if Steven's conscious that he didn't use his Tarkin Town at all last game.
Chat saying that top 64 in Lille was 21 points and above.
That was 800.
Which would not
players.
6-1 and 2 is only 20 points. That's not good enough for these guys, right?
Alrighty. That's
But
fine.
this is a smaller tournament, guys. So I think top 64 is going to have possibly some 6 and 3s in it
You're
even.
good. I'll attack
But
your
we'll
base
see.
for 3. And I will heal 2.
There may also have been some drops that affected it. I'm not sure why there would have been, but there may be.
And go to 1.
2 to base.
The difficulty of using Tarkin Town against a deck like this is it's got to be a damaged unit, and if your units are all 1 health, then,
They only all have 1 HP. You never have to worry about
Exactly.
damaged units. Now, this Victor Leader is going to be a big card for Frank here because now suddenly all these units not only are harder to kill, but they hit harder as well when he can get them through.
Yeah.
I'll buff it.
Steven's got to put 1 damage onto the Victor Leader, and he can clear it with the Tarkin Town.
Yep.
2 to base. 7.
But putting 1 damage on the Victor Leader might be more difficult unless he's running something like Daring Raid.
Stop the bleeding.
Okay, we're going to entrench a first order tie. That feels like a little bit of a desperation move, I'm not going to lie.
I'll make a dude.
It also means it's really difficult for him to put a Space Sentinel up there now because it'll just get eaten.
True.
Shuttle taking Yoda.
The Space Sentinel basically will not do him any good. He's given his opponent the means to
Ooh.
get rid of it.
Yeah. Frank's got the momentum this game.
Definitely looking much better for Frank going into Vader's flip turn here.
Keep track on paper and base.
Yes.
It'll be 7 on
Thank,
base.
thank, yep, thank you. Sorry. It's a lot to keep track of both.
I do 1.
We're just
Moist Farmer hitting for 1, restoring 2, not doing an awful lot.
Alrighty, everybody's ready.
He would have drawn a card off. Oh no, Yoda didn't die. Yoda's been
Yoda
captured.
didn't die, Yoda just got captured.
Buff the moisture farmer.
And there's not a lot Steven can do to get rid of the Sanctionist shuttle either.
I was gonna say, I don't think.
He would have to come in with, a takedown or something, right? He doesn't have a way to deal with it,
And I'll,
naturally, let's say. Unless he can come up with a space, again, that Space Sentinel would be a big pickup for him if he could find one.
Yeah. The perfect card for him in this would be something like Shoot Down.
Yep.
make a dude.
Okay.
You'd think that's such a niche card, but
All
if this has become a power in the meta, then
good.
maybe it's worth sideboarding.
No good to me dead from Frank's going to keep Ray locked out for a while. He was definitely missing those last game.
Oh yeah.
Still leave Frank's with 4
That'll
ready.
save him 6 restore and the upgrades.
Two.
Feels like Steven is waiting for maybe Fell the Dragon or something here.
Yeah,
First
he's
order
soft
tie.
pass with 5 open resources. He's
waiting on something to deal with Vader after the flip.
Hit 2.
He's not going to be able to Tarkin Town to deal with whatever Vader's about to deploy onto, which is shaping up to be Victor Leader at this point.
I would think so. I'll be honest. If I'm Frank, I would almost consider
Hit for 2.
deploying him into the ground
Claiming.
arena.
Oh yeah, that's also.
I mean, I don't think I don't think either one is a bad idea. I'm just saying I would at least run the math in my head and try to think about it.
I'm not so sure because the extra 2 TIE fighters buffed by Victor Leader.
This is a good point. You're not wrong.
I mean, might as well.
Oh yeah. I
Might
got
as well.
it.
We're getting cooked this game anyways. It's fine.
Stephen knows his numbers up.
Yeah, it seems like it.
3 up.
3 up.
All right. 2 to base.
Not deploying Vader onto a spaceship.
He hasn't thought he
After
hasn't
all.
done it yet.
No.
I'll claim.
That's what ground force.
Ray should be... Oh, she's upside down to represent the...
Vader
no
is
good
going to go to
that
ground
makes sense.
It's going to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
and swing for 5.
Yeah, that's fair. I have something wrong here.
They're 21 is what I've got.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, something's not right
Unless
here.
I missed something.
No.
Did I hit? That's 21. 5.
Well, I just flipped. I was 2 behind originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that these guys are
Yeah, I
working
have
to
made
make sure that the
21.
board state it matches their little side notes, because that is technically correct by the letter of the rules.
Homie.
So
Yeah.
you're allowed to take notes, but the board is like supposed to have precedence.
These hands weren't
Yes.
it. I had double entrenched, but I had nothing, nothing else.
He's got two Felder Dragons and a crate,
Uh,
so yeah. So there's game 2 going to
and-
Frank.
One each.
Yep.
Something.
1 and 1. Let's see what we can do, boys.
Like, wait, why did I do that?
I don't think this is for the game, because if I overheard Frank correctly earlier, they decided to draw, but play it out anyway.
I thought I heard that as well. Let me go have a look in the standings and see if it maybe got reported that
Doesn't
way.
sound like the right idea.
Let's have a peek.
But you get initiative though, which helps.
I do. Yeah,
This was
initiative's
table
big,
10.
but it's fine. I won't open space this game.
At the moment, this match has not been reported. So,
Okay.
You can outrace me.
well,
if
I
In that
think
case-
I think you can only ID at the beginning. I think you can't play a game and then decide to ID. I will not pretend. Actually, you know what? I've literally got the tournament rules sitting over here.
By that,
Why don't I
I'll
look
just
while
go
we're
around
sitting
with
here?
my
And
dealers and you
Tournament
And a judge right
regulations.
next to you, I think.
Yeah, but it's more fun for me to look. I spent all the time to print these little things and carry them with me. So exactly this kind of instance, I could look it up. Let's go have a look at the intentional draw
a lot of
rules.
times just hit you for 8.
Intentional draws.
Excellent.
Before playing any games of a match, if both players mutually wish to have that match in a draw, they may do so. Yes. So once
All right.
I think, and I'm guessing that the judge probably told them the same thing, because they can't just
Would make sense.
they can't just ignore the written rules.
Yeah. Which means that this game is for a spot in
Yep.
day 2.
Indeed, one of these gentlemen is probably moving on. One of these gentlemen is probably not.
Yeah.
His name's Rodney Stubbs. Have you heard of him?
Oh yeah, you don't say.
You know Rodney Stubbs?
I know.
We
Rodney.
determine whether or not Stephen has how much confidence after
Number of things of his.
a bit of a drubbing in the last game.
Definitely got drubbed. He got kicked around in game 1, but that was probably Frank getting a little bit of payback after Frank got kicked around. I'm sorry, Frank got kicked around in game 1, and then Steven kind of got kicked around in game 2.
Yep. A lot of that could have been card draws. Maybe Stephen didn't see his Sentinels, his Concord Dawn Interceptors.
Good to go.
Yep. Must have a space start. Yep. If you're
Yep.
keeping, you're spacing.
Starting with the A-wing up high.
Sure.
Yeah, competing.
I'll claim.
Looks like he's got village people in his hand, which ain't going to do him much good unless he saves it for Vader possibly deploying to the ground. Ooh, there's an OB in Frank's hand.
You know, I see people playing OB in that deck, and don't get me wrong, I understand the value of OB. What I don't understand is a lot of times you see them play OB on weenie units. Like the deck only plays weenie units.
Yeah.
What are you playing OB on exactly?
A spaceship that you've put a pilot on and has probably got
Now,
an attack of
if-
4 or 5 native.
It's possible. If that's the play, then I love it, and you do you, right? But so far, the games that we've watched, I have not seen as much of that, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll trade him.
I mean, the Vader pilot unit that's not the leader, that's a 7/7 if you deploy it on the ground.
Yes. Frank debating whether or not he should make a tie before he plays another unit. Oh, I
See a
think I
lurking
see. I think
tie
I
in his
see.
hand.
I think I see some of the calculations he's got going on. Yes,
Yeah.
I think I know what he's about to do,
I was worried you were
because he had. Okay, no, he does have the ST-120 N49 shovel in his hand, which will be interesting to see, because he can steal
Because it could
one.
shield the tie.
No,
Yeah.
he can steal one of those experience tokens that Steven
Oh.
generates. The way that card is worded, you may move a token upgrade from a unit to a unit of your choice.
Ooh, very nice. And that makes for a beefy lurking tie.
Yes.
Hitting for 5.
Feels like I care about that lurking.
I mean, I would in your shoes, my friend,
You have
Yeah.
forehand, right?
because that's exactly the kind of card that Vader would love to deploy onto in a few turns' time.
Absolutely.
Vader and TIE Phantom? Yes, please. Every day and twice on Sunday.
Do I have to? I kind of feel like I have to. Stuff.
I mean, you don't really see Vader deploying onto a stealth spaceship, do you? But
I mean, you wouldn't think so, but for the purposes of this, if it wins me the game, I'm doing it.
oh hell yeah, all day long.
All day long. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
I think there's a Poe I see there, and a Yoda in Ray's hand.
And a black one.
Yep.
Speaking
Black
of,
one's not doing very much at the moment, but he's playing it anyway. He can upgrade it with the experience to give it the extra +1 though.
well, and then when you put Poe on the ground, it gets that little free ping, which is really handy
Ooh,
against some
yeah,
of
Poe
Frank's
on the ground.
shenanigans.
Good shout.
Yet. I could do it. We'll go ahead and do it.
I run black one in my Loot 4 Tarkin Town
Right,
deck,
yeah.
where there's
Well,
no
I
Poe
mean,
in that
I
deck
figured
whatsoever.
you'd have it, but,
All right, so this is going to be the ST shuttle out of Frank, and he's going to steal that
Yep.
experience token.
By taking the upgrade off black one, he not only takes the +1/+1, but the extra +1 it gets from being upgraded as well. So, very tactical choice in doing that.
Heal my 0. Shielded.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Lurking Tie is now hitting for 5.
Yep. For a little bit.
No, for a while. So I think I just killed black one here because you can't Tarkin Town a TIE Phantom, right?
No, because I can't damage it.
Right. So I'll kill your. Yeah. I take 2 back.
All right, going for the board control option
Yep.
rather than just stacking damage to base.
Not a bad call, frankly.
And you take initiative. I make a dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Frank very much looking like he feels much more in control now,
Quite interesting.
having gained some confidence from the win at the second game.
Indeed.
This isn't 5, right?
We're going to 5.
Okay.
I'll resource this, I guess.
Yeah, that was the
Steven's
4 resource
using
turn.
a lot of
I'm still at 0.
yeah. Steven's using a lot of ums and I guess. So
Yeah.
got to be feeling the pressure.
Well, you can obviously tell the space, arena is getting away from him a little bit. The Poe the Poe on the ground is going to help make up some of that pain, especially because Poe's ability can help clean up things in the other arena.
You're tapped
Yep.
I am.
Both in terms of the damage and getting rid of the experience and getting rid of the shield.
There's that clone squadron that Frank wants so desperately in this matchup.
Also killing Vader after he deploys Vader. Assuming he deploys it as an upgrade, which now Poe's on the board. He probably
That's a good
wouldn't.
point.
I'll pass.
I think Vader deploying into that would not be advisable.
out. Yeah, you are.
I'm like, you've got a lot of actions to go.
Yeah, I do. Let's just.
Steven's got to start pushing some damage though.
5, yeah.
5 to base.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the big TIE Phantom.
To your base, and I will heal
Yep.
2.
So 2 to 4.
Yeah.
And then make a dude.
Now with
Frank-
the clone squadron out, now you have a great OB target.
So
That's a good
7
point.
to
Oh,
2.
yeah.
Is that where we're at?
We're at 7 to 2.
So that's a 5 +5/+5 on top of the 3/3. That's an 8/8 clone combat squadron.
That is correct. And if Vader deploys onto it, it's a further 5/5, so it could be a 13/13 unit. It's absolutely insane in this
terrific.
match. I'll be honest. I'm the kind of guy that likes to hedge my bets. I would put Vader on a different ship just to give your opponent
What,
more
like
than
this-
one unit to start to figure out how they're going to deal with it.
3.
Like the shielded shuttle for a start. Yeah.
Shielded shuttle would be a good one. I actually think the Phantom is not a bad call. Okay,
Yep.
we're going to fell the dragon.
Yeah, that'll get rid of the 8/8. Very nicely.
Sag.
There's that no good to me dead.
Yep.
Going to lock out Poe for a spell.
Big Sag.
Ray's got a few open resources still. Ray is got to deploy.
Big Sag.
Steven's got 2
Ray
resources
spent
available.
4 on the fell.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Frank's got 4
what do you do
available.
with 2?
4 up.
Ray's not going to do a lot with 2.
Sure.
He can still
I
use.
think
he
I
can
saw
still,
a regional
he can still
governor
buff.
in there.
Vader needs to swing in with one of his non-token fighters before he can make a free TIE fighter.
Yep.
One.
But we're going to start with the token
Lurking
units.
or the shuttle.
I'll hit you for 2. Heal 2.
One.
Stephen has 1 open resource now. He's got Ray to deploy.
All right, we'll flip into.
There she is.
No good. No good.
But Frank's going to be in a very commanding
Well,
state.
the
following
other
this.
question is Frank sitting on a second no good to me dead? Or a frozen in carbonite or something even skankier?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
Vader is safe from being killed by Poe for a couple of turns.
So that put me at 8, right?
7.
Oh, it did put me to 7. Are you sure?
Oh, did
I
I
had
miss
me at
it?
8. I think it was at 8.
8. You went to 6 on the.
I think you
He
hit me
was-
twice.
A lot of
Eight is-
fourth on the health here.
He's 8 is correct. Steven's count is correct.
Base,
Yeah.
and I will
1,
heal
2,
my
3.
3.
1, 2, 3. Hit for 3 and heal for 3.
5.
1 up, 3.
I get the impression Frank feels he's got this in the bag.
You get that impression,
Too many things off.
but
Yeah.
I will put a
still a lot of game to play here. Which
Yeah. Luke
wing
Luke
was
is
that?
always a
Victor
great
2 again.
leveler and very easily could be.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough damage on any one's base to make this game decided yet.
Yep. 4 to base.
I will pass.
I will hit you for 5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
14.
Every spacecraft on Frank's side of the board has now been exhausted, so deploying Vader to space would be a waste.
I guess he's going ground. I got to be honest. If I'm Vader, I think I go to ground and I beat the bejesus out of that stinking moisture farmer.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
we're gonna
only
force
11 damage.
throw the overwhelming barrage. Where was it going?
I guess
The only
Frank
the only
feels he
place
doesn't need it. Or is that the last card in his hand?
No, he came out with a force throw, so he's getting force thrown here.
Because that thing is a 4.
Steven threw a force throw, so it's a question. But here's the thing: he's not going to get anything meaningful out of this. He literally can't
No.
damage the TIE Phantom, and all he's going to do is take the shield off the shuttle, so he just has to blow away a token. That feels terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vader's going to go ground here.
Oof.
And 5 to base.
All right.
He knows he doesn't have to see Poe next round.
Yep.
That's a good question. Chat asking if Frank knows he has 7 damage on his base. I know their sheets are correct,
After game
but the
1,
tokens are not correct on the
hang it out
base.
for the camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
They drew before they even came over.
Okay. I just want to make sure that's legal. Like, I didn't want to mess things up. I heard something about once you start playing, you can't.
That is correct, Frank.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Intentional draw is.
Intentional draw has to happen before you begin to play, gentlemen.
All right,
Frank's like, I was never here.
Yep. Nobody saw this.
Nobody heard.
None of the
Nobody heard nothing except it was all on camera and all on microphone, Frank. But it's fine. We won't tell on you.
being watched by 300 people worldwide. Yeah, it's fine.
We won't tell on you, Frank. You're fine.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll have a chat with him when the game's over and make sure he understands for tomorrow how intentional draws work.
So you're at 7.
Well, it's still anyone's game at this point.
Standings are posted. So
Having said that-
over on Melee chat asking about standings, you can see standings, but the trick is you have to know their username because real names are not
I
displayed.
tried to, but they're saying we can't.
Yeah.
We did it after game 1.
That's correct. You can't ID after game 1, Frank.
But we were waiting to see what the rule is. Like,
Play it out, boys. Just keep playing.
we talked before.
Yeah.
Let's play a little bit and see if we want to draw or not. That's perfectly fine. We can decide. We'll just sit here until the timer runs out, and then it's a draw.
That is also correct.
I mean,
Technically they can.
That is legal.
That
Yep.
is legal. No one can stop them.
Yep. Means Frank owes you another game, though.
I'll think about it. I'll definitely punish him if he does this to me. I'm not going to lie. I'll find a way. I will find a way for him to be like, I want to play on your stream, and then get on camera and be like, no, I want to draw. I'm like, what are you doing to me, man? What are you doing to me, Frank?
What? When is this a rule?
New, so this is.
I'm going to let you know what? Let's mute these guys for a minute because I'm going to let the judges explain this to them.
Yeah, that
I'm
seems
just
fair.
let's just not listen to this.
Oh, man. So, if you were playing this weekend, what would you be bringing?
Honestly, I would be chasing that Vader showcase, the old Vader,
Yeah.
old school set 1 Vader.
Oh, yeah.
I would be failing. I would not earn one, but that's what I would be doing.
Well.
All right, judges have gone away. They're back to playing. It seems. I think.
Yep.
I mean, Frank's in a pretty commanding position here.
Yeah.
We're
It's
doing-
not a gimme, but
No, it's
he's
not.
certainly got a strong position.
Okay, we're going to take down. Yep, going to take down the shuttle.
That seems fair.
Yep.
His most powerful units are the Vader and the Lurking TIE. The Lurking TIE is probably more survivable at this point.
And they only, and it's a legal play for the takedown. We're going to lock down Ray now with no good to me dead.
Is that a May trigger?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, when
They're already
defeated.
fucking you over, so I'm not
Yep.
good, Ray, though.
Okay. Frank, I think, feels bad because he didn't understand how IDs worked precisely. But
Yeah.
that's okay. That's
The shuttle could have done its when defeated effect,
Oh, believe
but I
me.
don't think.
chat's all on him. Oh, that's real. He's quoting the rule to me. I read the rule on stream 10 minutes ago. We know.
I wish
But
I
the
was
players at the table apparently didn't know. So that's not something we can fix.
friend.
But like, did you ask a judge before you started playing?
No.
Oh,
No, they didn't ask before they started playing. That's how we got into this mess.
There's no penalty.
All right. I'll.
We're not taking a draw if there's a penalty.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we got a force throw coming in here.
Yeah.
I think.
Cool.
Yep, he's force throwing a TIE fighter. Feels terrible. That feels awful.
man.
Well, he got rid of a token unit.
That's not against the
Yeah.
rules to ask y'all questions. Okay, don't be penalizing us for trying to play friendly.
Okay.
2 up.
2 available. He's got 2 units that can get him pretty close to ending this. A swing from
Yep.
1 unit and 1 token. He's got 2 5 hits and 2 single hits. He's just got to get any
Yep.
2
There's
combinations
not enough to
of
store on
units
the
just
board
about.
to counter it or make a difference.
No, I don't think there is. He's going to go 5 in with Vader.
Although, I'm guessing Frank's also feeling the pressure after 9 hours of gaming,
I
weighing on the mind.
I sympathize with Frank. Believe me, I understand where that comes from.
And Stevens looking at his chances for making a day 2 slowly drain away from him.
Indeed, because as soon as this Phantom swings, that's the match. So there it is.
There we go.
Well, after all of that, ladies and gentlemen, Frank is actually going to be the victor of this match. 7-1-1.
Indeed.
Should be moving on to day 2. And Steven at 7-1-2, I don't think is completely out. I think there are going to be some people. Sorry, 6-2-1. There might be some folks that make it. I just don't know the math. There's so many people in this field. It's going to be really, really weird. Really weird. So
Yep.
we'll see how it
We
shakes
know
out.
one way or the other probably within the next 10 15 minutes or so,
Yeah,
Don't put it in yet.
exactly.
but that's fine.
Exactly.
This game is over and done.
Yep, indeed.